Hello again. How are you? Welcome back. Let's talk about today more on patterns and the meaning. So, I want to talk today about your mind is always trying to make meaning. Yes, your mind is always trying to make meaning, even when there isn't any. I noticed this about myself recently. I had an experience and it almost immediately my mind tried to explain it. And one of those instances is when I am at work in nursing and I tend to think, oh, this is only happening to me. I tend to think that sometimes. It feels like everything is going wrong for me. And then you look at everyone else and everything looks like it's peaches and cream. But then once in a while, you might see something going wrong for someone else. And you're like, oh, it's not just me, it's other people too. If a patient starts yelling or someone's angry about something or something just changes in the day. And then you think, oh, it's just happening to me. But no, it's happening to all of us. Like sometimes I'll hear nurses and they'll talk about, oh, yeah, this patient's family was just asking so many questions. Or they'll say, oh, what else? They'll say patient's family was very micromanaging a lot. And so it's like that kind of thing. And so you think, oh, it's not just me, it's other people too. So you realize like not everything is happening to you, it's happening to other people too. And sometimes you could feel like, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? And you get in that head like, it's not just you, the whole environment could be up and down all day long. And it started where I was asking to myself, I was asking, why did this happen? Is this connected to something else? Is this a sign? And it felt real, like it was connected to something and it made sense. But then I had to pause and I realized my mind just doesn't like uncertainty. So it fills in the gaps and it connects the dots and it creates stories. And our minds tend to do that. It likes to fill in the gaps and create stories about what's happening. So we'll say, oh, this is happening just to me. Oh, this is happening. I don't know. Why is it only happening to me? Or an IV comes out. Oh, it's just happening to me. But then you overhear someone else's IV came out. And you're like, oh, it's not just me. My IVs are coming out. And somebody's IV came out, or something like that. And as sometimes these stories, they feel so real that we start to believe them as facts, that we think, oh, it's just happening to me, but it's not just you. And there's a difference between what happened and the story we tell about what happened. And when you separate the two, you get a little bit more clarity. You stop overthinking, you stop blaming yourself, and you stop trying to control everything. And one of the ways I've created distance between what's happening to me and what I believe about what's going on is I journal it. I write it down, like what happened in a day. And so something that I wrote in my journal, like I would write, the patient is unsteady in their gait and they're walking in the hallways. And I'm trying to get them to stay in their room and they just don't want to stay in their room. Or a patient's threatening others with a fire extinguisher. That was one experience I had in the past. I wasn't there, but other people were there. That happened to someone else. Patients are yelling at each other. The roommates don't like each other. Or there's so many different moving parts. The door doesn't work. The TV doesn't work. Or someone spilled urine on the floor. I'm thinking, oh, this is a mess up in my day. And someone's phone, they need a phone, but we can't find an extra phone. Or I have to empty the urinal again. Or the pumps needs to be plugged in and it's beeping all so long. Or the patient, they had a bowel movement and it's really a mess and it's really a lot to clean up. And so all these things you could think, oh, everything's happening to me. But if you write them down, it becomes something that's more of just a part of the environment and just a part of a regular day. And sometimes you don't know what's going to happen in a day. And so you want certainty. You want a smooth day. You don't want these surprises, but sometimes surprises come. Somebody pulls out their IV and you got to put in a new one. And suddenly you get a new order for an antibiotic that you have to hang. And so you think, oh, I got to do this at the last minute. And it's all these little different things. But if you just write it down, journal it, it gives you a little space between the hecticness and the emotional height of being on the clock and having to handle all the things by yourself as a nurse. and learning to not let it feel like this is all happening to me. This is all like against me, like my day is against me, like everything is going wrong. And instead, just see it as this is a part of the environment that I'm in. This is a part of the world that I'm in. And it's not just me. A lot of people are dealing with the same things. A lot of nurses are dealing with the same things. It's not just me. And instead of asking, what does this mean? Maybe you're saying, oh, this must mean I'm a bad nurse. This must mean I can't handle this. Or maybe everything's happening to me for a reason where maybe I should just quit. This is horrible or whatever. You could say, this is just what's in the environment. This is just here. And you can ask, what am I going to make this mean? You could be the sunshine on a cloudy day, or you could be the cloud on a cloudy day, whatever you want to be. But I think the best thing is to choose to see your situations in a better light and to not overthink it, not blame yourself, and not try to control everything. And my favorite prayer is actually the Serenities prayer, which I always like to refer to in times of needing to let go and let God. And so the Serenity prayer is as follows. And you could just remember this whenever you need it. As a nurse, it always helps to clarify the meaning, to not make everything feel like it's happening to you, but just happening. And the Serenity prayer is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as a pathway to peace, taking as he did the sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trust that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. This is by Reinhold Niebuhr. So that's the full serenity prayer. But usually you only remember the first part, which is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And so that's how I'm going to leave it, to look at patterns and meaning and learning to just not take it too much to heart, and remember the context of where you are, and to frame it differently than say, oh, everything's against me, everything is going wrong, and learn to see it in a better light. And that's all. I hope this helps someone to feel a little less like things are not going right, but they're okay. They're okay.